and he's pedal to the metal. Go, go, go!
Hello everybody and welcome to F1 2022, the PC F3 League here on PSGL. We're in Australia for round 9 of the campaign. Just 3 races remain. Let's take a look at the Drivers and the Constructors' Championship. So just 3 rounds remain then here in Australia. Then next weekend we've swapped the last 2 races, the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi, before the season rounds out at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, to complete the 11 rounds in season 32. In the drivers' standings as well at the moment, Flyers Wise leads by 18 points as well, just over a race victory. Lefted is in second with Cameron Downs in 3rd position as well. Not too far behind is Jona Martins and Jan Halliday as well, both level on 41 points. It is between those top 5 who could mathematically still win this championship as well. Further down as well, Jake Finch, now dropped to reserve, has dropped down, but Bogdan Moldovan surging back through with a 6th place as well. The championship getting ever closer at the front as well. After today, predictably, we should only be left with 3 contenders going into the last 2 rounds of this championship before the start of season 33 in the coming few weeks. In the Constructors' Championship, McLaren lead the way there as well by just 2 points to Red Bull and 3 points to Aston Martin. It's getting incredibly close there at the front as well. Not too far back, AlphaTauri, but still it looks to be that this is going to go the way, all to the wire, between McLaren of Jona Martins and Jan Halliday, Red Bull of Flores Wiles and Zoltan Boda, and Aston Martin of Lefted and Leonard Gotez. It's going to be a cracker to see who's going to be where. So it's time then to take a look around on Lap Attack as well. And if you fancy getting yourself behind the wheel and want some decent equipment, the brand new Williams Esport Arena is opening soon as well. And they've partnered with us for the remainder of this season as well. It's a fantastic experience, opening soon as well. And if you book your tickets, you can join our own George Morgan, who'll be popping down next week as well. Take a look for yourself. On the other side, it'll be time for qualifying. Let's take a look at the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne. 3297 miles, 14 turns, modified for the first time since 1996, only a few years ago. It's a fast-flowing circuit that now provides overtaking. Get a good strong exit out of the last corner and boot it hard. 8th gear by the time you reach the control line. Head down towards turn 1. Only flick down by 2 gears as well. Get most power through the corner. Drift through turn 2. Open up the DRS on the run down towards turn 3. Villeneuve, Alonso and Martin Brundle all end up in the gravel trap there. Hard on the brakes as well. Back on the power. You've now got more room to let the car drift wide. Fastest part of the track coming up as well as you sweep through. Now, what used to be a braking zone, now just a light tap of the brakes and carry a lot of speed in. The reprofile, turn 7. Down now through 8 and 9. Used to be a chicane area of the track. Now it's just a basic straight. They don't even consider it a corner on Bayside View. Down now to a long sweeping turn 9 as well. Keep to the inside, drift out to the outside. Drop down 2 gears, flick the car in, back on the power. Turn 11 now, one of the most crucial parts of the track to try and make an overtaking spot. It's a hard 90-degree right-hander. Hit the brakes hard all the way down 5th gear. Maybe 4th if you're feeling a little bit too much speed coming through the corner as well. Now into the unmodified part of the track from the previous years. This last corner, always a problem. Carry in just as little speed as possible. Don't get a rear wheel on the grass. Boot it hard at the last corner. Open up the DRS and hurtle down towards the line. And that is a lap of the Albon Park Street Circuit in Australia.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to PSGL here for round 9 of the PC F3 Championship. You would have already heard that if you watched the intro, but if you didn't, there you go again. We're here for round 9, which is going to be great, and as usual, joined by Joshua Birch. Hello, Josh.
Hello, Richie. You doing okay?
I am indeed. Are you?
Very cold now that you've joined us live as well. In the last hour since we filmed that intro, it has got incredibly colder and has started snowing. So the commentary box is the equivalent of being on a ski mountain at the moment without any clothes on. It's very cold.
And yet again, I would like to just comment quickly. My camera is really wide again. It's done it again. It did it at WR last night on Monday. And I was trying to figure out what it was. It's done it again, so there must be something up with the resolution. Look in the chat. Hello, RTBC. No, hello, Cameron's dad. Welcome in, everyone. Nice to see everyone getting into the chat. We should be starting quite shortly. We're just going to wait for about 6 more drives to get in. It should be an interesting one, being here at Australia.
Absolutely. Jack Humphries just said my game has crashed, so joining in a second. So that's why he's going to be a bit late. But yeah, this is going to be a really interesting one. I think we both agreed, Richie, Belgium last weekend was one of the best esport races we've ever seen and commentated on. Just there was constant drama. It started wet. People then moved over from full wets to intermediates, then on to dry tyres. Then the rain came back, so I had to switch back to intermediates. Then it dried up again, so back to softs and back to intermediates again. Constant dramas of overtaking, constant dramas of people in the wall, safety car after safety car. It was just relentless action, and I loved every second of it.
From what I remember, we had Connor leading at the start. Then we had Leroy Brown leading. We had Tom Martinez, Fionn McKee, Philippe Waters. There was at least 6 or 7 people who were leading that whole race. It was amazing because at one point it looked like Tom. I think it was Tom cornered a backer, and I think it was Philippe Waters looking for a podium, the top 3. But then it went wet again, so people like Floris and Left in that all was able to get, and Leroy Brown, obviously who won, was able to get a nice advantage and get themselves back into the lead, which is great. But unfortunately, by the looks of it, we don't have Leroy Brown with us tonight, which is a big shame because he was looking really, really strong in Belgium. And he made a really good comeback because we haven't seen him much, have we? Because he had some PC issues at the start. I know he's managed to join some other leagues recently as well, so his PC must be back up and running. So hopefully we can see more of him possibly into the next season or maybe the finale of this season.
Yeah, just a couple of glitches, isn't it, as well? He'd be looking forward to other opportunities that keep coming up as well with PSGL in the future. But hopefully we can see him next season as well in F3. Which I think the next season, which is we've already seen half the calendar for with the F1 guys joining in as well. Nice to have them back for the first time since September as well on this game as well. We know F1 2022 hasn't exactly been a great experience for everyone esports related as well, but we've seen promises that these bugs are going to be fixed in 2023 and then a whole new era is going to kick off in 2024. So it's nice to know where we're going. But in terms of the overall aspect of we've got another season and a half probably left of this game on this in this format as well. So it's going to be quite interesting to see who's got to grips with it going forward. And then they've got to change again for F1 2023, which I hope is going to be a lot better because we saw this, didn't we, back in when we changed over consoles last time as well, because there's a marked difference between the games that were F1 2014 and F1 2015. in terms of the fact is that it was a development year, other things that would change over with graphics, then further and further along they get better. So hopefully, with the PC, we know that we can change the graphics
Yeah.
around. We know they can handle a lot more. Really, these games are held down by the consoles. So as the consoles now, with the new generation of power been out for a couple of years, everyone understands it more. The console graphics go up, the PC graphics go up as well to what they can handle at the
Mhm.
maximum as well. So we're going to be in for a very
Yeah.
entertaining fight,
I think
hopefully for 23 and 24.
I think one of the biggest issues when it comes to the spectator side for the commentators is the audio with the cars isn't very good, is it? When you're
Yeah,
driving yourself, it's a lot better. But when from the spectator view, they've had that issue for about 3 or 4 years, haven't they?
they have, and it always causes a problem because you ride on board and you think, oh no, their engine's cutting out, but no, it's a glitch from our part. And then also you find in a couple of things as well. Leroy Brown at Harlem has just actually said, "Are you here
Oh,
tonight?" as well. There are a couple of things also that you find as well. Like I'm sure everybody realizes when there's either a virtual safety car or a full safety car, we only get yellows in sectors 1, 2, and 3. So it's up to me and Richie to sort of to decide whether it's a full safety car, or virtual safety car, by looking at the boards at the side of
yeah,
the circuit. So it's not handy at all, and there definitely needs to be some changes. And it looks like those changes are coming up shortly, which is what everybody wants to look forward to. And also, one thing we do know in F1 2023, we're going to have the correct graphics on as well. So
oh,
hopefully that means a new timing tower
would be
that reflects
nice.
more of it as well. So just it's all patches that could be made and should be made as well. I'm very jealous of George Morgan actually, because as I said last night, I think he replied he made it himself. The new picture-in-picture
Hmm.
with the driver cam as well. That's a new toy that I can't wait to play with. But he made it as well with our graphics guy as well. So very interesting to see that we're on the up.
Yeah,
We're sort of adjusting for the failings of the game and what they can do for esports as well by adding in their own stuff. So
yeah,
mega excited for that. I mean, I've had an idea for split screen for ages. Like when it becomes possible, that means you can do joint streams as well. You have your game up and sharing the screen. I take that, put it on mine, and we can all see the
yeah,
same screen. Because then we can have an onboard and off-board angle. The same idea. It's just we've got all these ideas and we just can't implement them
yeah.
because the technology doesn't help us.
Yep, that's a big issue. And I think there's also issues with the streaming services such as Streamlabs and OBS, and then also the
Yeah.
game is definitely the biggest setback. And it's a shame that EA don't really reflect on what happens. They don't really F1 2021 compared to this was very good, but at the time F1 2021 had its big issues, and it seems like EA didn't really work on them, which is a shame. They kind of
Yeah.
seem to ignore it, which hopefully because I've heard there's a lots of swap arounds with staff and
Yes.
chief
Yeah.
directors and stuff. So hopefully when that changes, they might take a bit more of our our feedback on board
Approached.
because
Yes.
it's like people don't seem to realise PSGL and other big leagues. They do have a big impact on the world of esports because you'll always, esports teams don't really admit it, but we all know you have people from McLaren, Ferrari, Sports Veloce, and stuff like that. They'll always be watching
Mm.
PSGL and other
For
leagues to
their next
see
talent crop.
to
Yeah.
see who's next up. So, these leagues, these community leagues, they'd really help the game a lot. So it'd be helpful if EA can kind of see that and also just to help esports in general. Maybe have it so the esports
Yeah.
season is a little bit later so it can be just before the real season starts because esports started, I think it was like September. That was when F1 was already continuing, like the real life F1. If they scheduled it for the end of December, then we'd have it all the way through to the end of February, getting
Mm.
ready for Bahrain, which would be a lot better and you get more fans in, it'd get more fans involved, which it'd be quite good.
Yeah. The whole sort of prospect of all this does need a lot of work as well. And I think this is what we do so well, isn't it, on PSGL because we see the talent rising up as well. The future esports stars all sort of come up through us and other similar
Yeah,
leagues as well. And we get to pinpoint who's great and who's not, and who needs work and who doesn't need work, and who should really be in a higher league. And qualifying is about to start, so hopefully, um, everyone just continues to grow together as well. And I don't know if Leroy's in or not. I can
he
only
is.
see. Oh, great! So he did
That's
manage to
good.
get in just
So
in
yeah,
time.
we have got
But yeah, it's all
Leroy.
looking good.
So yeah, we say we didn't, but now we do, which is great. And let's see if we can get Leroy back at the top. But it's Australia. It's a difficult track. I've only heard people say I don't like the track. I've not heard many people say, "Oh, it's actually a nice track." a lot of people seem to struggle, especially looking here, turn 4 and 5, that can be a big trouble with the curves. Going into turn 3 is a big struggle. Turn 1 and 2, that's another horrible corner you can get wrong. You have turns 9 and 10, that's more an issue for just losing the car, bottling out. Apart from that, it's not too bad of a corner. Turn 11, that can be a little bit annoying if you brake too late, because it's a bit of a weird corner to judge. And then you have the final corner, turn 14. That can be really difficult on throttle, and you see a lot of drivers dropping it there. So there's lots of challenges for these drivers to tackle today. But these are some of the best. So I think that they can get through it. It just might take a little, it might take a little bit longer than normal. Tracks like Spa you can get used to a lot easier. It's a more iconic track. It's used on every game, whereas you don't really see Albert Park on many games apart from the Formula 1 stuff. Obviously, you see it in Assetto Corsa. But, you have many great racing games which always have Spa, Monza and stuff in, which obviously, Albert Park isn't.
Yeah, that's one of the perfect things about it being a temporary street course as well, but with sort of semi-permanent facilities as well. We know the pit straight stays the same, and we literally race around the lake itself. So the circuit was always here. In fact, we raced here in 1955, 1956 as well. But in the opposite direction on a very similar layout as well. So everyone's saying, oh, Formula 1 was first in Adelaide as well back then. We had non-championship events in Australia in the 50s, both won by Sir Sterling Moss back then as well. And it was around the lake. So actually, it's more of a return home for the Australian Grand Prix, Albert Park, than it was Adelaide. But given the choice, Albert Park is fantastic. We're just watching now the new part of the track that they changed. So it's more of a straightaway now, where 9 and 10 chicane used to be. It's now a quick sweep, but it's quite hard side by side. We saw it last night in the F1. But I must admit, Albert Park, it's a strange feeling when you wake up in the middle of the night from a UK point of view to watch the race and in our case, commentate on it as well. But hands down, Adelaide is a better racetrack. It just is. Albert Park has always been a hit and miss race, whereas Adelaide was always exciting.
Definitely.
I have a feeling as well. There was some rumours that we were going to get a South Australian Grand Prix to replace the Chinese Grand Prix, so that we would go from Melbourne, Albert Park, and then 2 weeks later we would go over to Adelaide and race there at the on that circuit. But that was shot down as well quite quickly.
So to cut you off, unless my game is wrong, the first 3 people to cross the line, which was Harlem, Jonah and Jeremy, all invalidate down at turn 1.
Yeah, you're correct.
So,
I've got exactly the same with my pictures.
On board with Lefted, he's made it through turn 1 without invalidating. He's just coming down towards turn 3 now. Lefted's done really well. He qualified on pole in Belgium, but unfortunately couldn't get that into a win. He had a bit of a struggle with the pit stops, changing tyres and other things. A little bit wide there in turn 5, but fixes it correctly. Now down towards turns 6. In sector 1 at 26.5, fastest sector of all. But I believe he's probably only one of a couple drivers that actually have set a valid first sector. He's now heading down towards turns 9 and 10. Here, I think this should be a corner, but in Formula 1 it's not classed as one, which is weird, but okay. But now, heading towards turn 9 and 10, let's see. 44-1 for the middle sector combined with the first. Now, charging down, got the DRS open, in towards turn 11. That's another tricky braking zone, because it's a weird one. You can't really, sometimes it's hard to judge where you've got to brake, and you can go a little bit deep. But perfect from Lefted there, gets it straight in, right early on the power. Theon with the 17.3 for his first lap of the session. Let's see, he's Lefted able to get quicker. Philip goes quicker than Theon with a 17.1. He's Lefted able to broke those two. Bogdan a 17 flat. Very nice.
And Vincent Nyquist goes top. So Vincent is a 1:16.884. Lefted goes second, 1:16.916 as well. So despite the fact that he hadn't turned a lap since Spa a week ago, it was a very, very interesting time for Fionn McKee, who goes into 6th position and gets the ball rolling as well. But we're expecting a 16.4 to be the top time. Floris Wise, the championship leader by 18 points, does a 1:16.667 to go top. And Jan Halliday's had a moment coming at the back of the track.
Yep, on board with Harlem. He's on his lap now. 28.8 in the first sector. 40. That's not a real lap. He was 6 seconds there in that middle sector. Jack Humphreys in the Alpine. He scored second in the last race at Belgium. Be looking to replicate that here in Australia today. Let's see what Tom he can set on the board as he comes up towards the line. Goes 4th with a 16.9. Yannick Schmidt 5th with a 16.9 as well. And Oscar Villacampa into that top 10. Really nice there. But unfortunate for Leroy Brown with a 17.481.
Cameron's on a lap time, but he's lost his first lap time. He's 15th at the moment. 26.6 was the second sector, was the first sector, sorry, 44.2 was sector 2. Cameron beginning to fly as he hurtles down towards the heavy braking zone as well. At turn 11, the 90-degree right hand, and he's lost the rear. Just about keeps it away from the gravel. Exactly what Fernando Alonso did in qualifying by taking that corner with just a little bit too much rear grip. The rear's locked, and he just about saved it. So struggling as well coming into the last two corners at 14. He's boxed the lap away. Cameron in real trouble now as well as the field start to come in. Sergio Sobrino stays in 17th position. He's coming out the last corner but decides to box as well. So everyone who lost their lap time on the first run, deciding on their second run, just isn't as fast as Jan Halliday at the moment in 18th position. He's looking strong as well. Into the braking zone for turn 13 as well. Last corner, turn 14, you can take with awesome speed. Look at that snap from the rear as well. DRS open as he hurtles down towards the control line. Does this get him inside the top 5 across the line? Oh, he's P7, a 1:17.010. He had a lot more snaps on that last lap time than we first thought.
Yep, big shame for Jan. He was looking to match Lefty in the first and second sector combined with a 44.1, but in that last sector he lost a bit of time going in towards turn 11. Then he also lost in that final corner, as we saw, with that big snap coming out of turn coming in towards turn 14. But Floris, really nice, spreading himself from the pack by 2/10 of Vincent. Nice to see him up in that top 2. We don't see him there often much anymore. He hasn't scored many points. Actually, I don't think he's scored any points since round 3 at Zandvoort, where he got, I think it was P5. So he's had a really bad season, really. It's nice to see him back up near the top. His teammate, Theon, in the top 10. Nice to see both Hasses in that top 10 position. Yeah. So, and see in the chat.
Oh, you read my mind, Richie.
Well,
was just about
Connor, well, that came out wrong, but you know what I mean. RTBC says, Australia is the track that seems on paper not to be hard, but it is. Yeah, it's a very difficult track. You know, I would say, I don't like the track. Oh, Tom Martinez, 16.9. Yeah, I don't like this track personally. It's not a very nice one. That could be just because I'm bad with it, but, you know, each to their own, I suppose. Harlan Marquis on a lap now, just coming through in towards turn 12 and 13. He's not on a lap. Let's have a look at Yona Martins, invalidated down at turn 1. And sorry if my voice is broken, it's still broken from Monday.
Yeah, you had a very interesting race at WR, didn't you?
I did,
so
yeah.
You take that one back as well. You were telling me about it before we ran on here, actually. I just want to say as well, Australia, no elevation change at all as well. So it is quite a boring track. As Vincent Nyquist actually was just coming through the first corner after take 3 cars off the racing line. And with so has invalidated his lap time on a brand new set of tyres. So Vincent's in trouble. Sergio Sobrino coasting around the back half of the track, as you just saw. As well, but this is getting interesting to see who's going to be next across the line. Left is P5. He's
on board with Lefty Daisy coming down in towards turn 3. Currently P5, not too bad. His teammate Janik Schmidt for this weekend is in P7, on the about 100th off him, so very close between the two, between those pair. Now coming in towards the end of sector 1. Let's see what time he does. Does he improve? He does by over half a tenth. This could be interesting. Could possibly put Lefty into that top 2. Jeremy goes second with a 16.801, just nearly under a tenth faster than Vincent. He's now into the pit lane, but keeping on board with Lefty. And Sergio Sobrino's out the session, retired, down at the exit of turn 7. But Lefty's up still in that middle sector, but loses about a 100th of a second in sector 2. Now coming down towards turn 11, there's a car on the way. That is an Alfa, another Aston Martin. Yeah, get it out the way. So and there's also got an Alfa Romeo.
Harlan Marquez jumps up to P2 as well with a 1:16.679. So fractions of a time separate them at the moment as well. Yannick Schmitz gets out the way for Lefty, who exits the last corner with the DRS as well open. 33 becomes 32 and 30 ERS power as well across the line. Does he jump up? Only just third though with a 1:16.
Oscar.
686, and Oscar Villacampa goes ahead of him on a 1:16.682. So only 4 thousandths of a second separate them, and then a further 3 thousandths of a second between between them and Harlan Marquez. This is unbelievable, Richard.
It is, yeah. Floris invalidated his second run. We're on board with Leroy Brown now because Jonah Martins has also invalidated his, I think this is his second run as well, so not going well for Jonah with the track limits. But on board with Leroy Brown, currently down in 16th, not where he should be at all. Leroy should be in that top 5, possibly around Oscar Villacampa. He's up by a 10.5 in that first sector. There's just some Mercedes there getting out the way for him very nicely. So let's see, can Leroy get himself into that top 2? Now coming down towards turn 9 and 10. The chicane, let's see if he can improve in that middle sector. He's going to get ready now. Gear 8, 316 kilometres an hour. Very quick through that middle sector. Loses a little bit of time though. There.
Oh, he's put the corner. Just kept it. I was noticing last night as well. Barry Burman was doing that, cutting the inside line at T11 as well. And we're going to have to watch out for that because that is ultimately what caused Ron Haar the penalty last night.
Yeah.
Cut that corner too much and got 3 warnings in a row.
It's a shame. That's the thing with track limits, can sometimes be an issue around here. But hopefully the drivers can try and get through it luckily and not have too many issues. But let's see what Leroy Brown can do up to the line. Only 10th position. Big surprise on board Yannick Schmidt. He's down. No, he was up on his time, but unfortunately he's invalidated. So that's a big shame. Zoltan Boda starting his lap now, currently on a 16.9. P11. Let's see if he can get himself into that top 10 with his teammate. Floriso on another outlap.
Yeah, and Bogdan Moldovan goes to P11 as well because they've split the two Ferraris. Zoltan and Bogdan split Leroy Brown and Philip Walters as well. So Zoltan's on a cool-down lap after doing a 1:16.960. Moldovan's done a 1:16.956. So again, 4 thousandths between them at the moment. Floris Wise is back out on an out lap as well for his 3rd run of the session. That's 3 sets he's done of those soft tyres as well after making a mistake on run number 2.
Up to the line, Jan Halliday. Where does he go? Goes first!
Whoa!
With a 16.626. Really nice there. We're on board with Modesto Mena, who today is known as Gibraltar Espanyol. Last week he was known as Teruel Existe, and today he's known as Gibraltar Espanyol. He invalidates in turn 11, so that's a big shame. But we'll go on board with Floris Wires, who's currently going to be getting ready to start his 3rd lap, currently in turn 11. His teammate just a couple of positions ahead. We've also got, I think that's an AlphaTauri in the middle of them both. Yes, it is. That'll be Cameron Dowd, who will be heading to the pit lane. Currently P7, and he's actually going it for another lap. But we'll stay on board with Floris, see if he can improve and get himself into that top. Back onto that top step of qualifying. And Cameron Dowd's just getting it away from him nicely there into turn 1.
Yeah, as well, we just saw Modesto Mena as well now as Gibraltar as well, having a very bad exit the last corner. It wrecked the entrance lap for him as well. So unfortunately for Gibraltar, it's been a bit rocky this session as they come through. Jan Halliday still top with a 1:16.626. Floris now begins to power through as well. He saved a lot of ERS on this run. Can he deploy it in the right positions? Because he takes 7th gear, drops down to 6th, back up now into 7th gear. The long run between turn 9 and turn 10 as well. Past the straightaway and the new section of grandstand as well on Lakeshore Drive as well. What can they do? Just listen to this as he flies through the chicane. Perfect on the accelerator, takes DRS once again, uses another couple percentage of DRS power, hits the brake hard as well. He was up in the 2nd sector by a fraction, perfect through T12 as well. What can they do? 13 and 14 coming up, the last 2 corners on the track. One of the most hardest to get right as well. Just ask David Coulthard, went off there in 2002 on a safety car restart as well. Power out the last corner as well. Agent Sotil spinning in qualifying there in 2011. Flores across the line, goes top with a 1:16.462. That was the predicted time for qualifying, and he's done it again.
Very nice there from Floris. He was saying to me in chat earlier, he's been on the 16.4s, 16.3s in quali, so looking really good for him there. Jan, though, in P2, that's really nice. Harlem and Vincent in P3 and 4, showing the exact same time with the 16.679, but on board with Theo McKee, coming in 16th to the 17.002, coming into turn 13 now. Let's see, can Theo get himself into that top 10? Oh, he's into the pit lane, so that's a big no.
Mic off.
Have a look, actually, with 4 minutes to go. Oscar Villacampa could be one to watch in P5. Oh, it's divided lap time, but is he going to have another runner or come into the pits? He's going to come into the pit lane, so Villacampa takes that one out as well. Lefted, 2, has invalidated his lap time as well. So it looks to me like
Mic
exactly
on.
what happened in F1 yesterday as well. We're going to have about a 2-minute shoot to the line. Everyone's going to have 1 lap to do it in.
Yep. Jeremy, Lefty, and Oscar all invalidated their runs there, and the mic off, mic on thing's on again. I'm sorry, but I turn that setting off. Basically, when I turn my mic off or mute it, it'll say mic off, mic on.
Oh,
And he did it last week. I think it was last week, or was it on Monday? And then obviously everyone's heard it in the chat. I didn't think it was that loud. So from now on, I can't mute my mic, it seems. Otherwise, people are going to hear some very seductive sounds coming through the microphone.
Connor just said it sounded seductive as well. Well, while Richie flirts with the entire chat, everyone is into the pit lane as well. So this is going to be exact. Oh, who's that going out the top of the pit lane? Looks like an Aston to me. Is it an Aston? Am I that good with my...
No, it's not an Aston. It's an Alpine. So he's a bit wrong there. Wrong colour, but...
Yeah, it's Jack Humphries. It's close. Oh, he's lost his outlap already.
Yep, into turn 1. And Riley says, what else can she say / do? Doom? I don't actually know yet. I haven't tested it out. Strategies on / off for Ferrari. Well, I can tell you now the strategy's never on for Ferrari. In real life F1, of course. Definitely not in here.
Well, from what I understand from the sources I'm hearing, there is going to be a new strategist for Ferrari.
Oh, let's hope. Well, they did sack the chief one, didn't they? Yone says Jan Poling coming. I haven't seen Yone for a long time. He's in F4 back in season 31, wasn't he?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, we haven't. Well, we knew they sacked Matteo Binotto, replaced by Frederick Vasseur, but we haven't actually heard anybody replacing their chief strategist, whose name escapes me at the moment, as well. Tobias.
Well,
something.
I'm just going to say their strategy shouldn't be remembered.
Yes, probably why I can't remember the name. I spent half last year saying about how they should be replaced. So, somebody, Nikas? No, that's the F1 technical director who's just been replaced. It's the off season. My brain's still trying to compute.
We're on board Jack Humphries now, down towards turn 1.
Yeah, what's he going to do? 8th gear. By the time he gets to the line, cars come out of the pit lane. No one's on his racing line. Flicks the car into 5th gear, keeps the speed through. Doesn't invalidate the lap time. We're going to have to watch turn 1, I think, Richie, as well.
We will.
As I have a coughing fit. I'm going to have to actually pop to get a drink between qualifying.
Right, so the strategist for Ferrari, if I'm correct, is an Inaka Ruda. I think. I'll just search it up. Inaka Ruda.
Oh, they have replaced them then because
no.
it was Tobias.
Oh, wait. No, sorry. He's an engineer. Why is it saying that? Let's have a look at the Ferrari chief strategist. Sorry to cut this off, but we need to find out who he is because it will kill me. Head of strategy, there we go. Oh, no, it is Nika Ruda, yeah. He's currently the sporting strategy director at the Scuderia Formula 1 team.
They have replaced him then.
But enough of that. On board Jack Humphries yet again. Now coming in towards 10-11 shortly. There's a few cars ahead of him. Going for final laps. Oh, he's out!
Oh, big accident! Wow!
That was a surprise.
Huge.
That was Harlan Marquis, who was in the way. Didn't see him at all. Definitely didn't expect that. We're on board with his teammate Bogdan Moldovan. Currently coming in towards turn 9 shortly. He was actually up in sector 1 by just under 300ths of a second. So Jack Humphries out, which means he finishes with a 16.924 in the chat. Stroll Latifi moment. Yes, that could be. So
that is a Stroll Latifi moment, isn't it?
But,
wow. Exactly the same.
Oh, and someone else is off. I think it's Williams down at the exit of turn 10. I think it was Tom Martinez, maybe.
Well, this is getting ridiculous as well as they come through.
And a Haas is off, I think.
Oh. Well, the checkered flag is out. The session is over.
Mena.
That now Gibraltar goes into 8th position as well. It'll be a hard climb up as well on the inside.
Bogdan.
Coming across line for Bogdan, stays into P10. I'm watching Flores, who's up in the first and second sector as well. So he's improving his lap time. Jan Halliday, 2 in P2. Oh, he's boxed. Jan Halliday will not take a run for qualifying. So what about Harlan Marquez? He's right behind. He's off. Back 360 into the wall. And that is out for Harlan Marquez, who's been dropped as Jeremy goes into 2nd. Yannick Schmidt goes into 3rd. Jan Halliday down to 4th. Harlan spinning under the lights. Flores is now looking quicker and quicker. Out of the last corner, punching it towards the line. Surely it's pole. It's got to be pole. It is pole with a 1:16.299 to take the absolute biscuit tin for qualifying times. He out-qualifies the field by 3.5 tenths of a second. Wow!
What a qualifying from Floris there, 16.299. Absolutely amazing there from Floris. Now we can understand why he could have gone to F2. But yeah, really good from Jeremy as well, putting himself into second. Yannick Schmidt into third. A shame for Vincent and Harlan. That was looking really quick, but obviously they've had their troubles on their final runs. But really nice from Floris, separating the field by 2 tenths. And then you can see it's really close between P2 down all the way to P10. It's only 2 tenths, which for this track, in my eyes, is quite short. You look here between, right, we'll look at P5 to P8, 7 thousandths of a second. That's between Harlem and Lefty. Lefty down in 8th, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
But for me, the biggest shock of qualifying, Leroy Brown, 15th.
Yeah.
That is a big surprise.
But the pole sitter is the championship leader by 18 points as well. He can't win the title today, Floris, but he can at least get one handling to take it in Abu Dhabi in 7 days' time as well. Still 3 races remain. Still so many championship protagonists that could take it. We've got 5 drivers still mathematically in the hunt for the title. By today, there will only be a maximum of 3. Richie, it's getting good. What's your prediction for the race winner?
Prediction for the race winner. I think I'm going to have to go with Floris. I think it's probably the most sensible answer. If I go for a bold prediction, then maybe Yannick Schmidt. But I think, realistically, I think Floris has got it in the bag.
Riley says, Jonah Martins, last to first challenge. That's entirely possible. Just quickly, Jack says some people are blind as well. Harlem's just been nothing but apologetic. Here we go then. 3 rounds left. 5 drivers still in the hunt for the title. Who will be the winner down under in PCF3? The start procedure is underway down under with 5 lights on. Action in Australia, and it's a good start from Floris, but Jeremy's got the jump, but that's soon sorted in the second phase of the start. Down to turn 1, Floris has dropped so many positions that gets back up into the lead. Fantastic getaway as well. Jeremy down to second, Yannick Schmidt into third position. There's a yellow flag further back as well, as we've got Jonah Martins up to 19. Zoltan Boda has dropped right to the back. Villa Camper up into 6th position, and again Modesto Menor to 11th as well. There's battling in the mid-pack, but it's Floris leading the race. Side by side action, there's contact still.
Yeah, Oscar lost it turn 5, got overtaken by Lefty, then had a dodgy exit of turn 6 and got completely washed by Bogdan and Cameron. Now down to 11th, we've also got Tom Martinez getting involved. We'll look on board with Tom Martinez, able to possibly get Oscar in towards turns 9 and 10. Martinez taking the outside line. Oscar's also looking at Modesto Maynard going into that corner, but unfortunately no moves are made for now. But look at Oscar right on the back of Modesto now, going in towards turn 11, up the inside. Is he going to be able to do it?
Yeah, I thought he was going to change the outside line as well. Decided to go on the inside. One of the Hasties further back and from McKee making a move on Jack Humphries. Jack trying to stay on the outside line. Just about making the move stick, I think, as well. Jack had the inside line, gets the position back as well. Now we see Oscar Villacampa on the inside, trying to make a move. It's all happening further back as Floris has got a lead of about 4.5 tenths of a second at the end of the first lap. Alex saying, here is Gibraltar. It is at the moment Modesto Mena, as there's all action further back. My game's having a bit of a moment. I don't know about yours, Richie, at the moment as I look at your monitor, but this is a fantastic
mine
lap.
seems fine, but Sergio Sobrino losing it to Yernay Dovsan, and then at turn 2. We've also got a battle further ahead with Leroy and Yernay. Leroy's just not got the pace. And you've got Yern up the inside, pushes Leroy into the curb. Leroy concedes a position. Leroy now down to 16th. Really bad start for him, losing a position on the first couple of laps. Jack Humphries, however, rides on the back of Tom Martinez. And we've also still got a gap starting to form. I think that is between Lefty and Cameron. Cameron on the back of Jan Halliday going into turns 9 and 10. Jan's just not got the pace. Cameron's right on the back of him. Sticks behind him towards turns 9 and 10. Let's see if he's able to get him down towards turn 11. Cameron's got some really good pace and some really good top speed here in Australia.
Cameron's going to have a look on the inside line to think about it as well. Jan Halliday defending for all he's worth as well. Can he keep the position? He's currently third in the championships, actually. He's level on points as well, I think, with Cameron. So they've got a lot to play for coming into this one as well. Floris, though, the championship leader, leading by just 0.6 of a second to Jeremy as well. 1:21.273, though, at the moment, is the fastest lap. He started this race on the hard compound tyre, and we'll open up the tyre graphics for you as well to take a look. Oh, a little bit of a slide for the back, Richie.
Yep, Yernane and Fionn fighting there. Fionn got pushed onto the grass by Yernane towards turn 1. That's also led Leroy Brown through. Leroy's going to try and fight Yernane in towards turn 4. Can't get him. And now we got Fionn still getting involved just behind. Also pressure now from Sergio Sobrino. Fion's really not having much luck here today.
And looking at the battle at the moment, everyone started this race on the hard compound tyres, so no one's decided to go for the alternate strategy as well. Everyone deciding that they want to take the hards as long as they possibly can into the middle of this race.
I was going to say, Josh, you can have a cough there. I could tell you was trying to have a cough as you were speaking. We've both got ruined voices today. But
yeah, mine still caused by Formula V, but still just trying to have a look. Dobson's one looking quite quick. I'm still watching him on the onboard. We're watching Cameron, who's trying to have a little look on the inside of Halliday. Still nothing into that part of the track. Come on, Cameron, you can make the move.
You can, and he's just 2 tenths behind Jan. Jan just doesn't seem to have as much pace as he usually does. He's losing time to Cameron. He's lost time to Vincent. But Harlem, the issue is now, yes, he's in 4th, but he caused that incident down at turn 11 in qualifying. So will he drop positions due to that? I can see that being possible, only if Jack reports it.
Harland does a 1:21.210 and gets the fastest lap of the race so far. And Jack Humphreys has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So already the track limits that we've seen is a problem down at turn 10 and at turn number 1, causing again these issues. He's the first one to be hit with a strike. Yeah,
big shame. Jack running 13th. That already puts Yernay possibly into 13th. Yernay's had a really good start, hasn't he? He's still on the hards as everyone else, but he's had some really good pace. On board with Jack now. Tom Martinez not having much pace. Leroy Brown with a penalty on the 4th lap of the race. That's really not good for him. This could show now we could possibly have some more penalties coming in, surprisingly from possibly the top 10, because it seems the track limits are really not people's friends. Vincent! Well, I kind of called that one, didn't I?
Yeah,
P5 gets a penalty. Could possibly drop it outside the top 10 now, which is a big shame. But yeah, one of the big losers though, Oscar Villacampa, starting in that top 5, I think it was, but pushed down outside of the points, which is not what he wants. His teammate Sergio Sobrino down 17th. But another big surprise, Jonas Martin's just not been on that pace at all. 18th, didn't set a qualifying lap, he just invalidated. So you know, Jonas really not got the pace. And considering 6 races ago we were saying he's fighting for the championship, you wouldn't think that now, would you?
No, we wouldn't. That's disappointing as well. I thought for a second that Tom Martinez, who's running in 12th position, was having a little look on Oscar Villacampa, but they've both got the DRS, so it's hard for Martinez to find a way through, but he's all over the back of that Mercedes as well. Everyone on the hard tyres doesn't leave too much room for a strategy call, so we're going to have to wait until they all decide to come in, which will probably be around about lap 16 to 19 will be their first pit stop call. So this is going to be a long race, unless a safety car pops up and decides to give us a little bit of an interesting battle.
Yeah, on board with Jeremy, as people asking for his ERS, we'll give them that, and we'll also keep on board with Yannick Schmidt, who seems to be gaining a little bit of time on Jeremy down in this middle sector. Just 3.5 tenths between those two, and Floris got the gap to around 7 tenths. Yannick having a bit of a slide there. Harlem also losing a little bit of pace, just 6 tenths behind. And you can see these top 8 are starting to be separated by more and more time. All of them separated by 6 or more tenths, apart from Yannick Schmidt, who's been separated by about 3 or 4 tenths on this lap. He's now closing the gap a little tiny bit to Jeremy, but it's not going to be enough. Floris, yet again, breaks the fastest lap with a 21.100. So Floris looking in a really good position to be taking the win here. Obviously wants to get himself outside that 1 second gap, but that's still going to be difficult with Jeremy having the DRS advantage.
Was that the commentator's curse there, Richie?
I know, I tried to fix it, but it didn't seem to work. So hopefully Floris doesn't get a penalty. But I could see,
now. Just continue digging, my friend. Just continue digging.
I could see one of the top 3 getting a penalty, though, to be honest.
You are going to be no. You're going to have to hide after this race if any of them get a penalty now as well. But they are starting to break away. Look at that. Everybody, even Zoltan Boda, who, remember, had a mistake on the opening lap, was 4 seconds down. He's now 2.8 seconds back to Philip Walters. But the 19 at the moment, all within a second of each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely close racing here.
It is.
And Shannon Smith has got to run there with the DRS, but Jeremy's got the DRS too on Flores. So, and yellow in the third sector, and Humphries is out of the race. Oh, what's happened?
It's binned at turn 10 on the
And
exit.
And safety car as well. He's gone out at turn 10, as we just saw from Zoltan Boda's point of view. You had the same idea as me, Richie. Look. And the full safety car. Now, is anybody going to dive in? Yes, they are. Safety car does mean strategy change. Left is going to go. Surely the mediums.
Yona, Philip in as well.
This is
the thing is, though, if you pit into the mediums, well, actually, it depends. They're doing like the strategy where they pit to the softs, then go back to the.
Oh, it's soft,
hard.
yeah.
Yep, so what they'll be doing is they'll be doing the strategy, they'll pit onto the soft tyres, then they'll go back into the pits again and pit onto hards, I believe.
Oh, Ferrari's had to stack. That's cost them a lot of time there as well. As Leroy's gone on to mediums, Philip Walters on the mediums too, so Ferrari going to try the gamble here. Would they risk coming in and putting on soft tyres, or will they do a couple? What do you think they'll do? Because those on the softs are definitely going to pit again.
With the softs, they'll definitely be pitting again in this safety car period, because they'll be able to then pit onto a new set of hards. It's to get rid of the whole having to pit stop again. You know, they don't have to pit stop if they pit onto the softs, back onto the hards or the mediums. And I could see with them pitting on softs, it'll probably be back to the hards, but it depends, you know, on different tyre allocations, what they're going to be going for in the race. But
the medium is catching me, though, as in why they chose that, because the medium's actually quite a good tyre to be on at around about lap 10. But
yeah,
can they last 3 more into the safety car?
That's one thing that confuses me, because surely if they was going to do the strategy to get rid of the mandatory pit stop, they go to softs, but surely mediums, in my eyes, can't make the end. That's what, 22 laps.
And look at this, we've got a traffic jam coming at the back half of turn 12. There's like cars everywhere at the moment, and it's quite a struggle to get them in the line. They all came up too quickly, all trying to hit the safety car delta time, and were spread across the track. It was like Mugello.
Not ideal, but we'll see now if that strategy with the softs does come into play. And I believe it will. Yes, it will. There we go. Oh, Philip's gone for the mediums, and he's going to pit back onto the hards. But Zoltan and Lefted stay out. No, sorry, no.
Whoa.
Zoltan and Leroy stay out.
That's an interesting call. So they are going to take the mediums. There's now back onto the mediums.
Oh, so
okay.
It looks like, at the moment, is Yona...
Well, hang on, Lefted and
they've
Philip
gone
Walters
they've gone back onto the hard, because I believe they'll try and make them to the end. Because the thing is, 1st to 13th have to pit again. If they can get those hards to the end, they don't have to pit again. But the question is, obviously, the pit stop around is about 20 seconds. Can they make it so Flores can't catch up in time? It's possible, but it just depends. You know, it just depends all on other things, because other safety cars can come into play. And
presumably, they haven't had
issues.
another set of hard tyres to go onto, because I would have gone onto a brand new set.
But then again, it comes down to tyre allocations. If they've got, if they haven't, Fion's overtook Martinez there, and they've rearranged. That's not ideal for those two, because
look, it's happening again. It's happening again. Look, all the zigzagging at the back half of the track as they all try and stay in the Delta car. Or the delta of the safety car. And
in this
lap. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Who is going to have the better pace?
And Josh, I'll give you the opportunity to take the call.
Oh, really?
We're going to go aboard Yannick Schmidt in 3rd to see what his reaction is to the start. Flores will be looking to get away quickly, maybe, or he'll take it all the way to the line.
Safety car's left them, so that will head back into the pit lane as well. Flores is going to have to decide when to hit the gas. No overtaking until the start-finish line as well. It's the new rule, which is the control line here in Australia. You can see it marked on the mini-map. Yannick Schmidt's in third position. Price is still doing it. Now, don't do a Coulthard and go straight on here. That's what he did back in 2002 under the restart and let Schumacher and Montoya go through. He doesn't. He's going to lead him out the last corner. And there's contact behind us. Harlan Marquez runs into the back. And look at that. Flores is not taking him until the line. It's Mugello again. They're all side by side. Now we go green. It's like Hackett and Irvine in 1999. We go green again. In
Cameron.
Melbourne. And Cameron is going to make a move on the inside line. Oh, there's contact into turn one. How do they all get through that?
That was a close one. Yep, and that's Oscar pushed off the track by Tom Martinez, losing even more positions now on that restart. You can see now down towards turn three, there's 3 wide, and that's a McLaren. And Alfa Romeo spun round. Bogdan Moldovan got tapped, I think it was, from a Williams or an Alfa Tauri, if I can remember.
I think it was an Alfa Tauri, which would make. Oh, was it his
Oh,
teammate? Was it
Modesto.
Modesto Nena.
Spun round down at turn 6.
2 yellows now. This is getting a massively bad restart.
Yep.
As they all try and come through. It was
Leroy.
all because they had no gap. Leroy Brown up into 12th position as well. So just to bring that down, they're still battling side by side. Coming into 10, 12, 11. The Ferrari on the outside. Mercedes on the inside. That's going to end in tears. And it does. The Mercedes goes mad and into the side of Jona Martins. And they're both out immediately.
And I think that's in
tears.
I think that's in the safety car.
Yeah, safety car again.
Oh, well. That was an interesting restart. Everyone acting like it was the last lap of the championship. And Sergio's left the session. He obviously he went in with Leroy, pushed Leroy wide. Leroy still kept in there because he's got to.
Yeah.
Then that pushes Sergio wide. Sergio spun, and then Jonas got, where can I go here? And just spins into him. We've got pit stops. We've got Harlem, Fionn, Yernay.
The Red Bulls had to pit for a new front wing, so which one? That's Zoltan Bodo had to come in. Ferrari gets going again. Now, who's changed over? Everyone onto medium compound tyres that have changed and have left the pit lane. I believe Duzvan is having some work done. Jona Martins is not happy in the chat, saying, Sergio Sabrino, WTF, no longer the one. Are you doing? Question mark. Fighting fresh meds as if it's the last lap, so he's heard you, Richie. Sergio Sabrino says, lol, I got hit from behind. Well, Jona Martins was behind him as well. No, you didn't, says Jona Martins. Why? Because it was Jona Martins behind you, Sergio. You made contact with the Ferrari because you didn't back out through a corner that you cannot go side by side at. We were watching on the TV pics as well. This is unbelievable. It's just chaos. Australia delivering once again.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one to say the least.
Mediums can't make it, says Mill Slash. Max Whistle, hello Max, says F3 at its best as well. Anop says open lobby. Carter says racing in Idaho. Yeah, looks like it. So the tire gamble doesn't matter anymore, says Bad Wallaby. No, it doesn't, because they've all changed over again, so that earlier pit stop hasn't worked. Connor says great racing as usual. Oh my rip. RTCB says safety car restart chaos as well, and it's all going mad. And high bars as well is just going down. It
was definitely an interesting one. Hopefully we don't see that again. But the thing is, now we've got different strategies into play. We've got Yernay who's pitted back onto the old hards. We've got Philip and Lefty who are behind the people who haven't pitted, I'm getting confused here. So
we need a rundown.
Right, so they've pitted back onto their old tyres. Everyone else in front, 7th to 1st, haven't pitted, so they've still got to pit. Then you've got Harlem, Jan, Fionn, and then the few behind at the back who also have pitted. So this is, there's 3 different strategies going on here. We've got the mediums, the old hards that have pitted, and the old hards that haven't pitted. So the question is, does this put Ferrari to Oscar at a disadvantage? Because you can see, the thing is, if it does work out, Oscar's into the points now, he's in P7. Tom Martinez into P6. That could help them out. But the question is, will Lefted and Philip be able to hold on? Because if they can, then it'll be P1 and P2 for Lefted. But also, you've got the medium tyre runners, Harlem, Jan and Fionn. So this is going to be really interesting to see what the drivers are going to do in terms of pitting. Because surely the hards need to pit around lap 16, 17, maybe a little bit earlier.
This is going to be insane now.
It will. We saw this in Silverstone, didn't we? We made about 4 different strategies, and it was interesting. So, as much as we've had the annoyance of people not knowing how to drive properly into turns 9 and 10, we've also had an interesting, exciting race. Safety cars in this lap.
Oh,
So
here we go
we're back
again.
yet again to the safety car restart. Hopefully this time there's no trouble into turn 1 because we had Oscar pushed off by Tom. Then we had Bogdan round at turn 3, Modesto round at turn 6, Sergio and Yana DNF'd at turn 10. So we had 5 collisions in half a lap of racing.
I tell you what, Sergio and Johan are having a massive fight right now in the F3 General chat. This is going to get interesting. We'll keep you up to date if anybody says anything very entertaining at the moment. Right now, they're just saying about look at my POV. Yeah, Johan Martins was nowhere near. He's just in it. It was netcode then, says Sergio. But it was literally the fact that he was side by side with Leroy Brown. We're coming to the restart.
Oh, Floris gone very early.
Wow.
Caught Jeremy off guard there. 8/10 of a gap. Yannick's also started to gain a little bit. And then apart from that, we've got no one side by side into turn 1, luckily. So we're going to avoid some action. Oh, but that's Vincent having a big slide into turn 2. That's going to allow Tom through, Cameron through into that top 5. And now also Oscar's going to probably have a little look. Vincent having a look at Tom, too far back. Yeah. Luckily, we don't get another spin down at turn 1. But, yeah, big shame for Vincent there. He was looking quick down the straight. Going to turn 1, had a big snap. Oscar Villacampa on the back of Vincent now, coming in towards turn 6. The gap between those two, just over 2/10. This could get spicy between these two into worlds turn 9 and 10.
Watching with them now. Can Oscar Villacampa find anything in that Mercedes? He's under pressure from Philip Walters too, so a 3-way scrap as Vincent is now actually leaving Villacampa behind, closing up on Martinez as well. And further back, the Aston of left is under pressure from Harlan Marquez. Leroy Brown is up into 13th position as well. It is all kicking off in Australia as well. And again, side by side further back, that was Lefton under pressure from Harlan Marquez. And he keeps the position, so Lefton stays 9th, Harlan down to stays in 10th.
Yep, Lefton had a really big snap coming out of turn 10, allowing Harlem to start to gain. Obviously went around the outside, couldn't get the move done, stuck behind. So we could see a move from Harlem soon, putting pressure under Lefty. Floris, yet again, takes the fastest lap for the millionth time this race. Harlem right.
Sorry to get a question. Contact as well. Harlem tried to go on the inside line. They touched ever so slightly coming into the brakes as well. So there's no ring damage, but there was just a little bit of touching. That's unsettled Lefton. Harlem looks to the inside in turn 3, gets the door shut across, and Jan Halliday coming to play.
But look at this. Jeremy, 1.5 seconds behind. Got a penalty. This technically puts Floris in the lead by 4.4 seconds. Jan on the back of Harlem as well. Harlem had a really bad exit at turn 6. Let's see what can Jan do. He's using his ERS. Burning. Going to catch up less than a 10th now. Not close enough to make a move in towards turn 9 and 10.
Oh, is he really? He's going to look on the inside? No. Again, the Alfa Romeo of Harlan Marquez blocking him. I'm 99% certain, by the way, it was Finn McKee who spun round Bogdan Molderman earlier on that first safety car restart. I'm 99% sure.
Fion!
There he is again. Finn's going to go on the inside of Jan Halliday, runs it wide, there's contact still, and here comes the Ferrari to make it 3 wide with Leroy Brown getting on the inside. Still side by side in the battle, the Ferrari dies on the inside, they're going to make contact, they're going to go wide, the McLaren's forced off, and through, round the outside goes Finn McKee. Fantastic racing!
And Bogdan Molderman.
Silverstone. Molderman gets involved too, and here comes again Modesto Mena on the inside. This is incredible. Here comes the DRS party down towards turn 3. The wings open as well, quicker than a chicken. Now what's going to happen? Round the outside comes Modesto Mena on the McLaren of Jan Halliday, forces him wide, has the inside line coming into 5 and 6, side by side, but eventually backs out of it. Brilliant! Really
good racing there between those. We also had Zoltan and Jurne fighting into turn 4 as well. Zoltan getting through on Jurne, so Jurne down to 17th. Obviously he's on the old hards. Everyone else on new medium, so that's obviously why he's going to be a lot slower. But yeah, Bogdan gaining on Fion. Obviously, Bogdan had a little battle with Fion down at turn 3. That didn't end well. Let's hope this time Bogdan doesn't repeat the same action to Fion. But yeah, the main thing is Cameron's also nearly at that DRS to Yannick. So Yannick's nearly in free air. No DRS behind, but he's got DRS for himself to get past Jeremy.
The battles are brewing, the tension is growing as well as they continue to fly through. It's that 14 of 29 as well. We're past half distance then in the Australian Grand Prix.
Oscar's pitting.
Camper. Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
So
That's the Mercedes deciding that he wants a new set of softs. Oh, that's brave for the next half of the race.
So he must be doing this. Surely he must be doing that strategy from earlier with pitting onto the softs, pitting back onto the old hards.
He's lost a lot of time though.
Because
He should've
surely
done
you're
that
not going to
with
gain
the
14 seconds. I
No.
mean, you're going to be
Oh,
able to do
hang on.
14 laps on
Hang on,
softs.
hang on. Finn McKee on the inside of left it and making the move for 9th position down at turn 3 with a sweet little move on the inside line, so gets that done. That's put left in now, nearly outside the championship positions as well. And Zoltan Boda gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But this is bad news for the guy who's second in the championship. That's left in, by the way, who's struggling like mad.
Bogdan.
And now, oh, that's going to be very, very tight, and he's got the move done before turn 11.
That's really good there from Bogdan into turn on 10, already ahead, so doesn't have to worry about defending from left. Got the DRS as well on Fion, so this is really good. Also, Fion, oh, sorry, pause it there, able to gain on Philip into turn 11. Philip's out the DRS to Harlem. Harlem's not in the DRS yet of Vincent, so this is really good for Fion to get a bit of DRS advantage on these guys in front. Look how much slower Philip is on those old hards. This is really good for Fion. And the top 5 pin. But
yeah,
Tom
Philip
stays
Box.
out.
And the leader, yeah, so everyone's in, look at that. So Tom leads, Harlem Marquez goes to second with the fastest lap of the race, and now everyone's assigned to box as the Ferrari that's left on the track of Leroy Brown looks to the inside and left it and makes the move into turn 1.
Getting through Bogdan on the back of Fion now. Fion out the DRS to Harlem. So this is now with the opportunity gives to Fion. Also, look at this here. Jan round the outside of left it into turn 3, gets past him. Also, we got Modesto Maida going for a move. Unfortunately, he has to back out of that one. Zoltan Boda also on the back of these guys. This is a really interesting battle between 5th down towards 10th because Yernay's also getting involved as well. But look how close Modesto is to the back of left it.
Villacampo only got ahead of Cameron and Vincent Nyquist as well, so that has put Flores in the net position. There it goes round the outside. Modesto Mena making the move on left. Did he make the move done? Yes, he did. And here comes Zoltan Boda round the outside. We saw how this ended for McLaren. Mercedes gets the move done before that part of the track ends.
Really nice. Now the question is, this will be a battle between Yernay and Yernay and Leffy because those were both on the same tyres. So everyone else was on a medium, so flew through. But the question is, Flores, he was 7.9 seconds, now 7.3. He's gained 6/10 with those guys battling ahead. So Flores is going to look to get himself past Lefted. If he can get past Lefted, that's his main objective because he wants to be gaining championship points.
Big snap there from Lefted coming out the last corner. Almost made my heart jump. As now that's going to give Duzvan as well an opportunity to slipstreaming down to turn 1. Didn't get the way through, but I tell you what, Lefted definitely wants to give us a heart attack this evening as well. He's pushing everything. Villacampa now with a 1:20.099 gets the fastest lap. Jeremy gets a 3-second time penalty.
Another one.
That's crucial. So that's another 6 seconds added to his time. Now Alex Smith goes up into effectively P2 in the race.
Yep. But the issue is now, look how much time Jeremy's dropping off Flores. It was 1.4 seconds into the pit stop stage. Out of the pit stops, it's 2.2, so Jeremy's lost nearly a second. That's good for Yannick because obviously Jeremy's got his penalties, but the thing is Yannick needs to get through on Jeremy as soon as possible if he wants to be fighting Flores for the win. Because at the moment, there's no way Yannick's going to catch up in time unless he gets through on these next couple of laps because Flores has got some unbelievable pace here. And another issue is Oscar is also pretty quick because he's on his soft. Yes, he'll die off.
Okay.
But for now, he's able to put pressure on
Leroy.
Yannick.
He's putting the pressure on massively. Sorry to cut across you, but Jan Hardy moves up to 5th position, getting ahead of Leroy Brown as well down at turn 11. So good little move on the inside there.
Yeah. Leroy's obviously got the DRS. Jan is back in the DRS, just outside of it now. On Bogdan, looking really good for these guys on the mediums. But the question is, can the mediums last another 11 laps? That'll put on what? 19 lap old mediums? Surely that can't be possible.
Yeah, it's too
But
much,
we'll have to see. You know, I don't know much about strategies around here, so it could be possible. If anyone in the chat has any information, are the mediums able to get to the end with 19 laps? Let us know, because I can't see it happening.
Somebody did mention earlier on in the chat that they had to stop again, that they couldn't make it to the end of the race. I did see that in the chat at one point. Can't remember who said it. I'll take a look in a second. But look at this, though. Martinez, 17 lap old hard, 16 lap for Lefted, 15 lap for Duzvan as well. They pitted under the safety car. Hasn't really worked out for them, and now they're struggling with it as well. As they come through, Martinez has yet to actually enter the pit lane. He's done all laps on these tyres.
Julian Meckelhoff says 30% to most mediums. I was told Moldova to go through to the end, but will be hard. Ooh. So we could see another Silverstone situation with the hard tyres, but this time it will be the mediums. In Silverstone, we had Lefty who got a penalty. Was it a punch on the last lap, wasn't it? On his old.
Yes, punch on the last lap.
Yeah, on his old hard. So this could be interesting. We could see some late race punctures with these guys between 2nd and 8th. But if they can keep it, this could be really good. Floris, however, look at that. 4.1 seconds. He's gained 4 seconds on this lap.
Insane, absolutely, from Floris. He's pushing like mad on those medium compound tyres.
And Yannick's got through on Jeremy. We didn't see that one. Oscar Villacampa also behind Jeremy. So Jeremy's at a big disadvantage now. He's looking for a P2. Now possibly looking for barely a top 5 for these 6 seconds of time penalties.
Yeah, so Yannick Smith up into effectively 2nd position of the race, but not the race win. He needs another, as you said, with 2.9 seconds now to close. Back up to Floris, who is running away with this championship. We already know he wants to go to F2 next year. It looks like it's a certainty of being F2, but wants to win the F3 title as part of his comeback tour. Bogdan's on a lovely little run. They're going to go side by side. Is he going to go 2 into 1? Did he just do? Oh, no, he's gone round. Molderman spins.
No,
Theon. Been spun round. McKee's been spun round. Right in the middle of the pack. 3 into 1 doesn't go.
See, from my eyes, at first it looked like Bogdan was going to go side by side, but then
I thought he lost it.
Theon went side by side with Harlem, and that was just, game over. The thing is, yes, people should be left space in those corners, but the thing is, that quick of corners, just don't risk it there. You've got a DRS zone literally just ahead. Just wait just wait that little bit of time and get through in the DRS zone. There's no point pushing someone into that corner because you know you're going to end up, one of us is going to face the consequence. And that time it was Theon. Theon's now down to 8th, which is not what he wants. He's also under pressure from Floris soon because Floris is just 2 seconds behind Jernay Dovsan. Also, look at that. Yannick's lost another second to Floris. Floris now leading technically by 3 seconds.
I think Martinez used all his soft tyres in qualifying because he's just put on a medium with only 9 laps left. I would have done softs. So I reckon he's used them all in qualifying, so he's had to take a set of mediums. Harlan Marquez leads this race on 10-lap-old mediums. Bogdan Moldovan is in 2nd position. This looks like this could be the lead of the race. We've been saying about Floris having the net lead on 4-lap-old mediums, but with only 9 to go, this is easily a run now for Harlem and Bogdan to control the front. But Bogdan Moldovan has not had a win this season. A former Formula 4 champion in PSGL as well. He's had a horrible start to his F3 career. He wants to get on the top step. This is the closest he's been all season. How much is he going to push Harlem Marquez now?
But the thing is, though, Alfa Romeo 1-2. This could be amazing. If they don't get a puncture, it's going to be possible because, yes, Floris is absolutely mega on those mediums, but in 8 laps, can he get through on 9 drivers?
I don't think so.
Leroy got a penalty, so this is not good for Leroy.
That puts Modesto Mena, or aka Gibraltar, up into 4th position.
Yeah.
And it actually pushes Leroy.
Theon?
Finn McKee's passed, left it, up into 7th position. So they've changed tune as well. This race is getting fantastic to find out what's going to happen.
It is.
It's literally going to be teasing us all the way to the end.
But look at this. Floris has lost a little bit of time on Yerne in that first set. Oh, we have a spin.
Oh no.
It's Oscar Villacampa.
Oh, Villacampa
then at turn 6.
Again. He's got it going.
But I was saying, Yannick's...
Lead change. It's coming up. There's only a 10th between them. Bogdan's so close to the back of Harlem. He had a look into turn 12. He's got the DRS now. Duzvan gets a time penalty. I think Moldovan's decided not to push it because he was practically hitting the back of Harlem Marquez coming through the back half of the track.
Let's have a look here at the penalties. Look at this. 6 for Leroy. Oh, a bit of an off there from Bogdan. So, 6 for Leroy, 3 for Zoltan, 3...
Look at Leroy, he's lost a position. Leroy's gone wide, and through goes Modesto Mena for 4th position now on track. So they made a bit of a mistake. I think Finn McKee's going to have a go at somebody at the back. That might be left to try and have a look at him actually as well. Throw in the mix there as well for the back.
Floris
passes Duzvan. That's an important one for the championship, or the race rather.
It is indeed. This is going to be getting interesting now. These last few laps, it's about when can Floris get through the pack. And Lefty will be fighting for all his might to defend Flourish. You've also got Theon now 2 seconds behind Zoltan. This is not good for Floris. Jeremy, Yannick, all behind with Cameron as well. This is not what they want because they're going to struggle. You know, yes, they're quicker, but they've now got to gain an extra 2 seconds on Theon to get through to 6th. Zoltan, I presume, will play the team game and let Floris through. Yes. But you've also got Leroy ahead. You've also got Modesto, Jan, Bogdan and Harlem. Those top 5 are guys that, you know, they don't let positions go. They'll battle to the end because they're really, you know, they're really competitive drivers. So this is going to be trouble for Floris. Floris on the back of Lefted now. Lefted also on the back of Theon. This could be interesting going into turn 11. Floris on the outside into turn 11. Also going for a double overtake here. As Theon, oh, Lefted nearly hits the back of Floris. But Floris... No, there wasn't, but it was close. Floris through into 8th position now, just behind Theon. Should be able to get Theon down the straight. Oh, lock up from Yerne down at turn 13. Yeah. This could be good for Yannick Schmidt to get through on Yerne.
And now look at this as well as that's Floris easily passing. Finn McKee moves the inside line, just gets out of the way on 13 up on mediums. That was quite... Now that looked like a planned move to me there, Richie. He just pulled over along the start-finish straight and through with ease.
Yep, nothing could... Theon could do about that. Also Lefted up the inside of Theon into turn 3. Bit of contact. Make it through safely. Theon keeps the position. Yerne getting involved.
So Finn McKee literally dives out the way of Floris and now defends like mad, but they're not on the same team. What's happening there?
He knows that Floris is a lot quicker than Lefted. Floris is on 7 lap-old mediums, Lefted is on 21 lap-old hards. The question is now also, can Lefted and Yerne get to the end? 21 lap, 20-year-old hards. Also, you got Harlem, Bogdan and all that still on their mediums. This could be interesting going down to the final few stages.
Why bother keeping them behind when they've both got penalties as well? That seemed a bit of a like, I don't want to let Yannick Schmitz come back through on these two. I think that's what he's thinking, actually. I think Lefted's, so I think Finn McKee is using his mind and thinking about it. The fact that we've got the second Aston Martin Yannick Schmitz right behind. Yeah. So that could be just keep these two cars in between, and it's harder for them to overtake. So, okay, I don't think that was keeping Flores behind. I think that was keeping Yannick Schmitz behind.
Theon, sorry, has had a bit of a lock-up at turn 13 as well.
Yeah.
Also, Yerne having a run down on Lefted down towards turn 1, but not enough. We'll keep on board with Lefted. Gets through into turn 1. Also, we've got Zoltan and Leroy fighting into turn 1.
That's going to be really tight, but keeps the move stick as well. And you're right, Zoltan to 5th. Leroy down to 6th position, but Lefted passes Finn McKee and Duzvan almost gets through. And this is going to be 3 wide. Duzvan trying around the outside into the chicane. Did he make the move stick? He's got the inside line cutting back through 5 and 6. And this is not what McKee wanted at all. Those hard tyres still have bite in them. And now this is going to put them on Oscar Villacampa, a 118.449 on the soft compound tyre. So Yannick Schmitz is now right up behind them as well. They're joining in, and he's going for it. Round on the inside line.
He's got 1. Can he get 2? Into turn 9. Harlem!
Yes, that's the race leader. As there's contact with Finn McKee and Yannick Schmitz, they just about make it through. Off the track as one of the Alpines. That's Duzvan going wide. Jeremy goes through. Meantime, in the battle here, this is all changing. Bogdan Moldovan's taking the lead of the race. Yannick Schmitz gets a 3-second time penalty. Jeremy's on the inside, getting ahead of Yannick Schmitz as well. Finn McKee somehow stays in 9th position. And Bogdan and round goes Duzvan. The last got Jeremy's gone round 2. Jeremy's gone round and down to 14th position. It's all kicked off here in Australia, but the most important thing is Bogdan Moldovan leads in Australia.
Harlem, go for the move, Lefted with a 3-second.
And Harlem retakes the lead on the inside. Bogdan's going to hold him round the outside. And here comes Jan Halliday. This is the battle for the lead between him and Bogdan Moldovan. He's going to have the inside coming into turn 7. Moldovan shuts the door. And Harlem leads, but with a time penalty. Amazing Australia.
Yep, this is getting interesting, the final few laps. And you can see everyone's pushing. Also, we've got a little bit of battling behind him with Zoltan and Modesto.
Yeah. And look at Modesto and Vincent Nyquist for the penalty. And Zoltan Bodrop to 4th. They're battling as well with Modesto Mena. They're on the inside now, side by side through turn 11. AlphaTauri has to give way. Zoltan goes to fourth. Leroy Brown in the Ferrari is going to have the run-up. Now, he gets through. Floris Wise has now joined the party, trying to go right round the outside of the Ferrari into turn 11. Hold your breath. He's on the exit curb. He's still side by side. And Philip Walters gets a time penalty of 3 seconds. That was going off the track. Now, Floris trying to look around the outside, not working out. But a mistake from Leroy. Better tyre grip for Floris. Right round the outside of turn 14. There's contact. Through goes Floris. And that's one dealt with, 5 to go.
Yep, and in the chat, Jonas says Harlem has 1 removal warning, but then Julian says Harlem has 4 warnings. So could have been a controversy between Harlem's race, possible race victory. Floris on the back of Modesto up the inside into turn 3 and spins round nearly hitting his teammate. His teammate's round.
He has spun him! Unbelievable! He tagged his own teammate! Off goes Floris Wires! Leroy's coming back through on the inside line as well! This is unbelievable! And Modesto men are down to 6th. Leroy's back up into 5th position as well. This has let the top 2 and the top 3 escape into the distance. And Zoltan Boda, who would have happily moved out the way anyway, has been forced out. Floris under pressure from the Ferrari as well. But it's really the
Cameron Dowds!
Cameron, where's Cameron side by side?
It's a side by side with Theon into turn 9 with Vincent also behind. Backs out, tries to make Theon go 1, take an odd line, which he does. Now he's going to make a move down towards turn 11, and he gets on the inside.
Modesto's going round the outside of the Ferrari and makes the move stick. He's on the back of Philip. And look at the battle that's going on further back.
Yep, 4 wide into turn 13 there. Cameron leading the pack. Vincent getting through. Oh, Cameron locks up.
My word.
And we've got contact between Yernay and Theon. Vincent now into P9. Spins.
Oh my word, it's like a demolition derby in Australia. There's more contact down the start-finish straight. They're 5 abreast. Then there's wing damage on the AlphaTauri for sure. Here comes Zoltan. There's more contact with the Haas. They're side by side. And that's, that's Martinez.
Yep, this is interesting. Martinez in the battle now. Was down at last one point. Also, Zoltan fighting Theon into turn 3. Gonna take the outside line into 4. Have the inside into turn 5. And Zoltan gonna try and take that 11th position, but Theon's still sticking in there. Theon takes 11th. Zoltan and Tom also fighting. Theon with a penalty. This is getting really interesting now onto these final couple of laps. Bogdan, however, on the back of Harlem, going into turn 9 and 10. Jan also on the back of these two. So this could be interesting between the top 3. Bogdan's lost time at turn 10.
Well, this is going to be... And Oscar Villacampe is out of the race. I think that was done in the pit lane, so no safety car. Here comes Martinez. At the same time, it's 3 wide. Down on the inside line into turn 11. The Haas is going to be in a sandwich. He shuts the door with Martinez. Meantime, Zoltan Boda trying to go around the outside. The Ferrari and Philip Walters on the inside line. The Haas forces the Red Bull wide. Boda comes on the inside like a Boda-Sia move. Off goes Finn McKee. Comes back on the inside line. Philip Walters is right there. 3 to 1 doesn't go. Round goes Zoltan Boda. And he does a 360 for the 2nd time today.
Yeah, that is really a shame for Zoltan now, down to 15th, fighting with Jeremy for 16th. Jeremy's in the pit lane, so he might, he's either retiring or he's got some damage, pits onto softs. But the main battle on the last couple of laps is between these guys, Philip and Theon, and also at the top.
On the inside, that's very late manoeuvre, forcing the Haas wide again. Philip can't get through, but that's a penalty warning. Let's cut to the top 2. Let's cut to Bogdan Moldovan and Jan Halliday, because they're very close together now. Jan can sense a race win with 2 laps to go of this race. This is going to be fantastic. 1.5 now. Floris is in contention, but he did hit his teammate. I doubt Red Bull are going to launch a protest against their own driver's mind, though. But if the stewards decide to investigate it, that's another matter. Floris might still be on here for masterclass. It's a 4-way fight with one more racing lap to go. It is going to be 3.4 miles of action. A slide from Jan Halliday. Floris sees the opportunity. He pounces on the inside and makes it to 2nd position. Here comes Bogdan Moldovan to the line to pass Harlem Marquez. It's the last lap. Bogdan goes to the inside, touches his teammates, launches it. Harlem goes wide. Floris is there to capitalise too. Down towards turn 3 we go. Zoltan Bogdan's there too. Here we go. Flores to the outside. 3 wide. Finn McKee's out of the race. They've made a crash. Bogdan round the outside. Harlem goes defensive. He's still trying to get there. Flores is holding the inside line too. Swaps to the outside. Down to 7 and 8 we go. Can they get any way through? I don't think so. No safety car for anything on the track. Can Bogdan make the move? Can Flores make the move? They're all together as we head down through the 8 and 9 section. Flores is going to try and look up the inside line for a way through. Is it going to work out? This is for the net lead of the race. Down to turn 11. Pulls to the outside line. Bogdan knew he was there. Did he manage to hold the corner? There's a yellow flag. They're still not racing together. Flores still has it. Last DRS zone. Bogdan Moldovan comes to the outside line. Harlem should play the team game. He does. He forces Flores into the wall. Bogdan leads. Zolt and look at Flores Wires back on the inside for second. Into the last sector we go to you, Richie.
Absolutely amazing from Bogdan. He's got a podium this season, but hasn't won.
Look at Flores. He's going to do it.
It's going to be close. Round the final corner. The fight between these two. Can Flores get Bogdan on the line? This is close.
Oh my God.
Oh!
Bogdan. Wow. By 20 thousandths of a second. 20 thousandths. Bogdan Moldovan gets his first win in Formula 3. And Flores Wires is amazing second.
Now that was absolutely amazing. That couldn't have been any closer than that. Down to the line. Harlem down to 4th is penalty, but absolutely amazing race.
I honestly think I've given myself a hernia.
I could hear you, and your voice, especially going through turn 3, and your voice is just dying. I'm like, come on, just quick hand it over, because your voice is just.
Yeah. That was like the last race of Abu
The
Dhabi
thing is-
2021.
The thing is, what doesn't help me is I've got a bad cold, so with a sore throat as well as shouting, it
That's what I was
doesn't really
thinking.
help. But Bogdan,
Can you cut to Comcam quick? Is that possible? Because I'm having to stand bent over because I've got such a pain in my side from commentating on that race.
I'm not able to
That
swap
was
over, unfortunately.
Unbelievable. Well, I'm still standing like we'll see at the end. But what a race!
Caden says Flores will get a 10-second penalty for that. I presume you're about the one down at turn 3 with his teammate, possibly. Depends if he gets reported. If Zoltan might do, but we'll have to see. It's going to be an interesting one, that will be with the stewards. But Bogdan, photo finish, takes a victory here in F3. He's won in F4. He's won in F4. He won in F4 season 30. He won a race in F4 season 31, and he's won a race here F3 season 32. Absolutely amazing from Bogdan. Going into the race, I did not think Bogdan Moldovan was going to take the flag. Started 11th and has finished first. Absolutely a masterclass there from Bogdan. Also to Flores, starting first, pitted, was down to 13th, worked his way all the way through the pack. Nearly took the win on the line. It couldn't have got close on that between those two.
Look how many penalties there were.
And I'll be honest, I'll need to take it back about Belgium, I think.
Yeah, that was the best race.
That was, and I missed it there. Cameron in 5th.
Cameron's got him to 5th, but that must have been where the penalties applied.
Must have been, yeah. But that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. But the thing is as well, will Harlan keep his 4th? Because he had that, because he was Jack Humphries, didn't he? But anyone wants to get into the interview room, please let us know. But we've got 2 people in there, Bogdan and Flores.
I've got the man of the moment, Bogdan Moldovan. You are a race winner in Formula 3. Fantastic.
Oh my God, like I'm literally shaking. So just to speak about the race, qualifying went really bad. I did a really bad last sector, and that put me really back on the grid. But after that, in the race, I just focused on doing my thing. I got spun after the first restart, and then I just said, let's take a gamble, fuck it, nothing to lose. And I took the gamble. I put on mediums. I knew that I was going to finish the race with really high tire wear, but I took the gamble. I made some amazing overtakes. I just pushed myself to the limit. I had only one warning this race, so I drove really good. And after that, in the last laps, there was just full on checking the tires. I finished like with 85%, something like that. Like the tire wear was amazing. And after I passed Harlem on that last straight, I was shaking so much. like in the penultimate corner, I went like 50 kilometers just to be safe, to not do anything stupid, and that almost cost me the win on the line, finishing just two not milliseconds, thousandth of a
Pounds,
second.
yeah.
Yeah, wow, an amazing race. Just I'm so happy about it.
You've both given me a hernia up in the commentary box. I'm not even kidding. My side's hurting. I'm literally going to have to lay down after this. But Bogdan, me and Richie, especially commentated on you in Formula 4, got promoted at the same time together with F3 as well. You're a Formula 4 champion. You've had a difficult start to F3 in the earlier on of this season. It's taken you 9 races across 11 weeks, but you're a winner. That's got to be so special for you, especially with the difficulties you said you are having at the start.
Well, I don't know, but I always push through. Like, I don't know how I do it. Like last season in F4, I thought a win it was impossible, and I took 2 in a row. This season, a win was like beating an esports driver. Like it looked so impossible, but I did it. And looking now, I had an incident in the first corner where someone dive bombed us, and I thought I was at fault. But looking now at the replay, I'm not at fault because Zolta just went too deep, pushed the AlphaTauri into me, and then he spun. So I think I will have the race 100% won.
Looks like it. Richie?
I'd just like to say one that thing to Bogdan. I forgot he spun and he still won. He spun down at turn 3. I think it was the first couple of laps. Yeah.
You've done a Max Verstappen, spin and win.
But
Yeah.
Thanks, Bogdan, for joining us. Absolutely masterclass. And we'll see you next week at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
So the next, we've got Floris. If you'd like to
Hello, guys.
That was an
Floris.
interesting race. Qualified pole by 2.5 tenths. Pretty good qualifying. Obviously, the strategy definitely didn't go as to plan because it meant you had to really fight for that win on the last couple of laps.
I did exactly. Qualifying was pinch perfect. Point two. I don't know what position I would have been in F1, but yeah, that lap was really good. Then the race, I just consolidated the pace a bit to get no warnings, and as it turned out, I didn't got any penalty, which was nice. Then it was a little bit of a strategy debacle, I want to call it, because when you have a safety car on lap 10, 11, or I don't know, 8 or 9, it's going to be difficult if you want to go to for the mediums or stay out on the yards. I opted to stay out on the yards.
Floris,
yeah.
I'd like to just say your lap would have put you P4 in PCF1.
Yeah. I don't know. That lap was really good. That was really good. So
yeah.
But yeah, I was really going for it as well. And then unfortunately the incident happened. I thought the guy in front of me moved a bit, which I got caught out for with the braking zone. And then I just locked up into Zoltan, which was really unfortunate. So let's see what happens. I hope no penalty, because I didn't do that on purpose. And in my opinion, someone moved in front of me.
It is your teammate, so you can sort of say, are you going to report?
No. Even if it's my teammate. But in my opinion, the guy in front of me was moving on the braking, which I got caught out by. And I locked up and got into Zoltan, which was really unfortunate. But I got orange wing damage on the left front, and for some reason I finished 20,000th behind the win. So if that incident didn't happen, I would have probably won it. But GG's to Bogdan.
Yeah.
What a race he did. But yeah, I hope this P2 stands, and then we build our gap into the championship fight to, I believe,
Abu Dhabi.
something about 25 points.
Yep. You've got, I think, looking at it, you were leading by.
I was leading by 18.
Yeah.
I think now by 25.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you've got your first chance to clinch the title next week in Abu Dhabi. Does that make you a bit more nervous, or are you more relaxed now? Or
Nah, I think more relaxed
Yeah.
as I just need a couple of points to grab the title.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
can't
But
wait.
yeah, thanks for joining us. That was amazing race from you, and we'll see you next time in Abu Dhabi. So thanks for
Thank you,
joining.
guys.
Next, finally, the final interviewee is our final podium sitter, Jan Halliday. Jan, you here?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
You was definitely involved in many battles during that race, especially at the start. You lost a few positions, gained a few positions, but then going into at the start, you looked like you didn't have as much pace as some of the guys ahead. But obviously, you finished third in the end. What do you think? I think it was third, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
third.
What do you think changed it for you able to get that podium in the end?
Well, first the strategy. Me
Mhm.
and my engineer Hype. Shout out to him, by the way. We made a call to pit for the mediums, and I knew that I would have to save the tires a lot, and I did, and it kind of paid off. I was
Mhm.
P3 in the end, but driving from some drivers are interesting. Let's say. Yeah, no
But
comment on that. I think I could have won today if I was caught in any incidents, but my
mhm.
my pace on the hards was like so bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
But considering for most drivers it was like a demolition derby, he was able to get through the pack and managed to come home third. Which obviously you're not in effect for a championship, but still it shows you got the able to get the consistency of good results. So do you think in the final two races, Abu Dhabi and Qatar, do you think you can get any more podiums or even a win?
well, I hope. If I won't be sick like today, we'll see. We'll see. But I've been really lucky in the last races. Today,
Mhm.
Britain, I had like 80% on the tires and didn't get any punctures. So yeah, quite lucky, and it's paying off, I guess.
Yeah. Anything from you, Josh?
Mega drive from all the top three today. And I'll tell you what, though, Jan, a constant amazement to us all since you joined the championship. A bit too late for this year's title. We know Flores is looking likely to head off to F2 definitely next year. Are you going to make a run for your F3 title? Is your mindset already adapted to I want to go for this ASAP?
I mean, I was F4 at the start of this season, so I'm quite happy with my results. With my results in F3. Yeah, I don't think I can answer that question. I'm
Oh,
hoping to be like F2 next season, but
Mhm.
yeah,
I think with
we'll
that, you
see.
might be. I think that's the quickest tier up driver ever. Half a season in F4 and F3, and then straight to F2 probably next season. That looks still mega. So if that happens, mega impressed, but disappointed you'd be leaving me and Richie in the comps box.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
But
I'll hand
yeah.
back to Richie.
Yeah, thanks, Jen, for joining us, and we'll hope to see you next time in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, congrats to Floris and Bogdan. They did very good drives.
Yep, definitely. But yeah, Josh, there we go. That's the race over. That was an interesting one. And
Yeah.
let me just get you back on the camera. There we go. We don't be leaking the chat. Wouldn't be ideal.
Yeah,
Um,
well, that happens a lot, doesn't it?
it does.
We read it out practically all the time anyway, so
But
that's pretty much
there we
right.
go. Got the second screen back on. But yeah, I love that one. I'd say that's definitely up there with Belgium and even Monza last season. And that was where Bogdan won as well, actually. So
It was, yeah. I'm just seeing as well as Logan's put Joshua Burge gets the best races.
well,
Richie, you get it too.
I definitely can't disagree with that one. We've had some amazing races. I definitely think one of the best ones.
I
Probably,
just get looking.
I'd
We're going
say,
to have, George and Jack are going to be taking over the F3 just because we've got the better races.
I'd say because of it being the first race we commentate over, Netherlands season 30,
Oh, yeah,
round
that was
9.
phenomenal.
That still stands out to me as one of the best. Because I think it was
That was
Bogdan who
insane.
won. Was it
Yeah,
Bogdan who won that one as well?
it was. And the driver who was second left the championship afterwards.
Wait, who was it?
I can't remember now.
Oh, hang on,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't. It
Have you
was
remembered?
Jan and Bushy Ants, wasn't it?
Bushian. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he had that
It was a
controversial
close one.
ending. I remember that one. Yeah.
Julian's asking what's behind the curtains. What is? It's just literally what's behind the curtains. More, just more equipment basically, and a window that's boarded up. It's literally just more of the broadcasting equipment that you don't get to see. One of these days, I'll have to do a commentary box tour. Actually, I already did. If you get on my TikTok, JB Motorsport, there is a commentary box tour from, I think, when was it? Formula E, something or other, just a week ago. So I have actually shown the other side of the box before. But
But
honestly, what an amazing race. I think we're getting treated to so much great
we are.
racing. And I thought Silverstone was great.
Mhm.
Belgium was a tear up. And then Australia has just completely knocked it out the park
Yeah.
once again. I don't actually think there's a level as to what we have just experienced in terms of a racecraft. I think that is just one of those diamonds that just crop up every
I
now
think
and then.
there
We'll
was
never have a race like it.
there was some incidents with bad racecraft. Obviously, we saw that near the start, but you know the fact is there was battles going on through it the whole time, and there was a lot of drivers still getting through. You know, especially the battle that involved, I think it was Theon, Leroy Brown, Philip. That battle that was really good, and none of them
Yeah, the back,
spun.
yeah.
Vincent did spin, but that was on his own accord on the exit of turn 14. So you know, some of the battles were really good, and the drivers really, you know, really pushing to the limits, trying to see, you know, what can they do, because you know, yes,
Yeah.
12th to 11th might seem like a lot, but you know, these drivers still want to make any position they can.
Actually, before we leave, I know we're on our screen for a second, but I just want to bring Floris back in to ask one quick question because you did actually, it brought me back in mind. Floris, can you still hear us?
Oh, here, yeah.
Hello. I just wanted to ask you, first safety car restart, you left everybody right until the last possible second. What was your thinking behind that? Because it caught everybody by surprise further back.
I was thinking like the tires were not up to temperature. So if I went before the last corner, I would have might gotten wheel spin and something like that. And the straight is kind of long as well. So I thought let's weave a little bit and let's wait a little bit until the tires are a little bit warmer. And then went on the throttle, and on the second safety car restart, my tires were warmer, so I tried to risk it to go earlier, which eventually paid in my favor because I opened the gap to 1 second, I believe.
You did, yeah, straight away into turn one. So, Ace, thank you very much, Lars. I just wanted to get that insight as to what you were thinking. Richie, we've got two races left,
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi and Austin, Texas. It looks like Florida's going to take the title next time out as well. He's comfortably ahead. But this is just absolutely insane as to what we've experienced as well. I can't wait for the last couple as well. And then hopefully we should get straight into it. Like, I want a 2-week break and then I want to get back for season 33. Don't want to stop.
Abu Dhabi always brings great racing normally, especially in real life F1. I don't really see much of Abu Dhabi on league race. I don't really watch it, but you know, obviously we had AD21, that was controversial. Still had some good racing involved with Max and Lewis on the final lap. That was really good racing from those two. And if we can see racing like that next week, that will be really good. Then going into Kota, you know, we saw in F1 Esports, we had, right, if I'm going to try and remember, it was Barry, Ron Ha, Jono and Brendan fight on the last lap. Jono obviously got through on the 3 and got the win. So, you know, yet again, Kota can bring such good racing. And obviously, in real life, we had Banks and Vettel. One of probably my moment of the 2022 season between those on the last lap, the final couple of corners. So, Kota's yet again a track that's also proven to have such great racing. And I think, in my opinion, it's underrated. I think Kota's one of the best tracks in real F1. And I think on this calendar, probably one of my favourites. So, that'll be the one I'm excited to be the most. But for Abu Dhabi, obviously, it's not the final race here in F3 in PSGL, but to me, it's always got that thing about it. You know, it's some of the final race in real F1. It's got that, you know, it's got that thing about it that not all the tracks have. You know, normally it being the finale. Having, you know, obviously back in the era when Sebastian Vettel was winning, you know, we had the four-way title fight. Was it 2010 or 2012?
2010.
Where Alonso got held up by Petrov for the whole race, which cost him the you know, obviously cost him the championship. So yet again, you know, that track can bring great racing, great defending, great overtaking, especially with the modified turns 9 and 10. That could also bring some great racing as well.
It's going to be fantastic. Absolutely can't wait as well. Abu Dhabi next up. Kota rounds us out as well. Reminder that the PlayStation League gets underway once again as well with Australia. That's coming on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. On Monday, the F1 guys are head out there with Jess on the commentary as well. On next Wednesday, you can join George and Jack again for round 2 in Abu Dhabi as well for PCF1 as they make the return. A great race last time out as well. Just yesterday has been Australia delivering us. We'll be back as well. F2 gets underway at 7 p.m. GMT as well. Their race starts at 7:30. Should be over by the time we finish our qualifying. Our show starts next Thursday at 8 p.m. GMT, and our race starts at 8:30 GMT as well for all of the action. Richie, I'll hand over to you to say goodbye because you were supposed to host, but you were away.
Which side are you? You're that side, yeah. Thanks everyone for joining again. I was looking at the viewage earlier throughout the race, and it was really good. We had over 80, 90 views at one point. So thanks everyone for joining in, showing your support in the chat. We had a lot of people in the chat today, which is really great to see. And obviously, we'll be back next week for Kota. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you next week. Actually, one quick reminder before we go: the Williams Experience Centre. If you've got a bit of time and you're down by where it is in Woking, I believe it is, you're something like that. Head over there, go and have a little test out because the equipment there is top quality. Most expensive equipment and most high quality you can get. So you got a bit of free time.
If you go in the next couple of weeks, you're running to George Morgan
as
well.
Yes, exactly, yeah. George is there for the, I think it's a public opening. I think it's on the 26th of January, if I'm correct. So, why not head down there and have a little look? If I wasn't in Birmingham, I would be down there, but it's too far to travel.
They'll have to give me a ban to keep away. I love things like that. So, yeah, do go down to the Williams Esports Arena as well. Looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, thanks everyone yet again for joining, and we'll see you next week for